Hello, everybody. It's Chachi. It's Tom. Welcome to In Our Humble Opinion. Today, we're going to talk about the Ravens, kind of like what they're going to do this offseason, start deep dive into them. Tom, do you want to start or you want me?
I'm gonna let you summarize
Okay,
it,
okay.
man. This is your team.
Okay,
Do it.
so I think last year, I think, people want to sit there and, yes, the ending wasn't great. You kind of went away from what your team was built on. Defense showed up when you needed them. Made some errors, though, at the end, mental errors. Young guy made a couple mistakes. He's going to be good. He's fine. Um, Zay Flowers, he'll be okay. I just don't get the game plan. But besides that, it was a successful season. I think people got to realize that. As you saw the last couple of days, you re-signed Matabuke, which was great because the cap hit this year, if you had to franchise him, was going to be ridiculous. It went from 22 million to 6.53, I believe, for this season, which is that is great. And like now you have plenty of money to spend on other free agents. I think we're going to see how Zach Orr does as a defensive coordinator. If you can keep the same kind of flow going as you did with McDonald, the same kind of scheme, everything going the same, yeah, I think you'll be fine. I think there will be growing pains because there was with McDonald. Everyone forgets that, Tom. They weren't real smooth in the beginning with him, and then they hit their stride, right? Because like me and Tom always talk about the first like. You also got to be fair. The first now the way preseason is, the first like 4 games of the regular season, your team's kind of trying to figure itself out on both sides of the ball because you have no cohesion yet because it's not like before where it was really important. Now it's like preseason's like the third stringers and all play, and you try to see who's going to make the team. Running back wise, I think they have a lot of concerns from this standpoint. They have a lot of people in free agency that I don't know. I would re-sign Gus, but depends what he's looking for. If I'm him, I wouldn't come back. It seems like in big games, I'm being dead serious from a standpoint of him in big games, you don't like to give him the ball. So I don't know why he would stay there. It's inconsistent with the carries for the guy. I don't know if you guys see something in the facility about him or something, but it seems one game they give him 15, 20 carries, and then another game they give him three. I don't get it. I don't. Keaton Mitchell, I really like him, but me and Tom have talked about it offhand a couple times because that injury looked bad. I don't know if he's going to come back the same, and even if he does, usually it takes like a whole year to get back that speed, and that is what his game's very predicated on. So if you could somehow get him back and he could be the same, I think he could be great change up like he was last year. Like not even good, great change up, but we'll see. That's a very big if. Bateman really hasn't shown you that he has. I know people like to bring up the damn clips, always getting open look. Oh my God, he's not the number one read every play. That's not how it works. Lamar's sometimes your quarterback's not even looking at that guy. He's like the fourth read. Okay, and I don't think he's bad. He gets hurt a little too much, and his hands are inconsistent. But maybe he'll have a breakout year. I don't know. We'll see. But I think the thing I'm worried about on defense, I think your linebacking core. I know PQ's probably leaving. I get it. Get your money, buddy. I think he's going to be really good. I think Houston's where he's going to go, in my opinion. I would do that if I was him. This thing about Seattle, I'm like, offensively, you don't really have a very good offense. I would go to Houston in a minute over them. I'm sorry. I know you want to play with your friends, but I'm like, eh. Houston seems like a better destination for him. I think that team's a sleeping giant. They're getting there. Got a lot of young talent, but as far as defensively, the Ravens, I'm concerned about the cornerback position because last year you were very lucky in the fact that a lot of guys played a lot better than they looked like they would play. Arthur Millette played a lot better than he usually does. That guy has not had a season that great, and I love Arthur Millette. I talked about him a couple times because I was surprised how well he played. Relying on like veterans to play over their skis again is very risky because if they don't, then you just signed a guy that you could have been giving a young guy reps for to your team, and that would have been a lot smarter, getting them more playing time. And the biggest thing, Tom brought it up with pass rusher. Now you're talking about Chase Young, and like Tom, his effort sometimes I agree is very suspect. It's like some plays he doesn't even chase down the guys, and that really doesn't fit with the Ravens. If you watched him last year, that's why the defense was so good. All the Michael Pierce was running downfield to get people, and sometimes he would catch them, you know. So it's like everyone was running after people behind the play, and that's what made like screens really hard against them and everything like that. And the biggest thing too, Tom brought it up last week. Well, no, we were talking about it actually. It wasn't on the show. Owe and I will give the guy from Michigan a break. He was hurt, like Tom was saying, but Oweh has not really shown consistency. I mean, they're bringing this thing up about pressures. I watched the games. I mean, there were plays where you weren't even there. Now he did look better than before, but I mean, in 3 years, I mean, come on. Aiden Hutchinson's been good off the rip. Okay, I mean, come on, bro. Let's go. Let's go. It's time. This is his year. He needs to step up. You got to show it. Uh, but with the signing of Matabuke, the one thing you do have is up the middle pressure, which is always the best to have. You think Michael Pierce is still there? He's terrific run stopper. You saw in the Arizona game, he can wreck games. Roquan's a machine. He's just gonna. And Trenton, what's his name? Simpson. He looked really good in the one. Now it was only one game, but everyone talks about him like he's a guy on the rise. Even PQ said something about him. So if he is what's playing that position, I think you give him a shot because I feel like the whole organization's behind that guy. I feel like Gino. Sorry, Tom, I'm talking a lot. I'm just getting all my stuff out there before you go. Gino. I feel like in his best interest, he should go. I would. That makes perfect sense. I think it's good for everybody. I think Gino deserves a chance to play as a starting safety in the league and show how good he is. I think Green Bay is actually a really good spot. And I'm not just saying that because it's Tom's team. I thought that in the middle of the end of the season because it's just a good fit. They need a safety. He's going to start there. They're going to give him a shot, and they need that kind of safety. A guy that's going to sit back there and make plays for them. Right position, smart, everything. The Ravens have two good safeties. They don't need Gino, and Gino don't need them. So I understand both ways. And I have to get this in there before I let Tom go. This is the longest run one sentence in the history of the world. 6 paragraphs in one sitting. Devin Duvernay, I feel like he has been an underrated part of the team. He always makes plays on special teams, and I don't think they've ever utilized him correctly with any of their schemes or anything. I think he's a very good player. I think a team should give him a shot at slot. I think he could be. Look at the college tape too. If you know how to use him, the guy's really good. He's shifty, he's quick, and he has. If you look in college, you can see. And I know it's college, but that's the problem. The Ravens never really used him as a slot. They were putting him wide and stuff. Not that he's bad at it, but that's not his thing. If you use him as a slot receiver, he's really tough. He's a really tough player. I think he's hidden potential there for a receiver because he doesn't really drop a lot of passes at all. He's great hands. So that's really it. I think their needs are definitely running back and corner. They really need to address those and D-line because their ends are not the best unless you can get Clowney back. And from what it seems, he wants a lot more money than they're willing to pay. So Tom, you go ahead. Without further ado, I'm gonna let Tom hit it on this.
Yeah, number one, I think the Ravens have a lot more cap space than people are willing to. They can move. I think they projected they can move if they restructure and move money. They could have about $33 million in cap, right? Mm-hmm. So, and that includes the new.
Well, I was going to get into the O lines.
And you saw with Matabuke, right? They saved, right there. Sorry, I can't do math on the fly.
18,
million,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's ways to get money to make a couple moves.
I'm going to go over the O-line stuff with you. I wanted you to just do yours first, and I'll go over the O-line stuff because that's the more complex situation I got an idea for. I don't know if they're going to do it, but what I would do just to save some money. So go ahead, finish what you're saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, you gotta. I think so. Number one, I think the question is with the marketplace and what they see in the draft. Where are they gonna want to spend? I think number one, they've always gotten of late they've spent money on pass rushers because they've had to. Oweh, the thing with Oweh is he's a one-trick pony, right? He's a really good speed rusher. But he doesn't have a lot of moves. That's always been his
knock.
Fortunately, that is what he is, right? You're hoping that kid from Michigan, he just gets healthy, right? If he gets healthy, I think he could be really solid. Mm-hmm. So you got to think they're going to dip into at least going to getting one veteran pass rusher. It worked really well with Clowney last year. So if you get another one-year deal guy, I think it makes a lot of sense. Also to bring back Clowney, I think it made a ton of sense.
Yeah.
I think it's better than the rumor I heard where they were looking at Chase Young. Man, Chase Young, I just have a lot of problems with effort in the NFC title game, man.
Well, I like Clowney. I like Clowney because he fits the team well. They like him. He likes them. It's a good fit.
Yeah. he played on a smaller salary, but had a big performance bonus, and he hit the performance. And I think he fits well in that front. I don't
Yeah.
know why, I'm sure they're going to try to bring him back. It makes sense.
No, I agree.
To your point, I think corner is interesting where they're going to be in the draft. You might get some. I think you're going to see a massive run on offensive tackles in like that early middle stage of the draft, and you're going to see some of these like defensive backs slide in the end of the first round. So I could see like you might have an opportunity to take a corner there, right, and really help start to bolster that room. Don't forget, Rocky Sin is still on your roster, and he was hurt most of the year. I forgot, like he was even on the roster.
Me too.
I was like, wow, that guy still exists in the league.
I know. I was like, wait, he was always play like one series and get hurt. I felt bad for him, but make a play and it's like, well, he's hurt.
Right. Well, what's really interesting too is I'm curious. Like you said, Simpson's super solid. Morrison's okay. I think they have enough depth that you can let Queen walk. And again, they're going to have to go probably find more talent in the draft, but I don't think it makes any. Yeah, Patrick Queen's not staying. He's going to make a crap ton of money, and honestly, he's not better. I mean, everybody knows he's not better than Roquan Smith. So two linebackers is just too expensive. I mean, they never did it with Ray Lewis, right? They had like Bart Scott and Peter Bowler. Bowler was a little different, but they had guys behind that were always like kind of a tier below.
A Dallas.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, exactly. What is his name?
Offensively, I really think I'm very curious if they tap into the running back market.
I think so
because
too.
Because of the fact that they are like. I've heard like Derrick Henry, which is weird. I mean, I think he could work with the downhill side, but like you still like they need a shifty guy too.
I like Saquon.
Like, they almost need a like.
I like that one.
Yeah, they need a prime. They need a prime like Devontae Freeman, man.
Yeah.
Or like even like I mean Michael Turner would be a great like example too. Like a bowling ball that's shifty.
Yep.
Right. That's what they really really need. I don't know if Derrick Henry. Also, Derrick Henry last year, I thought he started falling off a cliff a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing just the hits are starting to add up.
Well, I like the Saquon one because they like the.
Honestly, I like Josh Jacobs more.
That's really good.
I think Saquon, dude, Saquon can't stay healthy.
Well, I feel like Josh.
He's a tremendous talent, but he can't stay healthy.
Well, I feel like Josh Jacobs wants to be there too. Wasn't he like rumored to be traded there last year to the Ravens, and he really wanted to go.
Yeah. He makes a ton of sense there.
Not that he's a running back. He's not going to cost you a lot.
In Green Bay, I'll be super curious what Green Bay does with Aaron Jones. But this isn't the Green Bay show. Anyways, yeah, like I think they're going to try to tap into that running back market for depth, right?
Yep, I agree.
There's no like, dude, Mitchell's injury. I feel so bad for that kid because it's like it's a non-contact. He landed awkwardly.
Rainy field, yeah.
Destroyed his knee. Like that's just.
Oh yeah, he ain't. Even if he comes back, it's going to be a while. So it's not going to be the first game. So.
Not to say he won't. Not to say he won't come back.
It's going to take a while.
Okay,
it's just going to take a while. Yeah.
Man.
It is. Dude, even if he comes back.
Cut, like,
even if he comes back, it's not going to be 100% right away. It's going to take a while.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like. Yeah.
There's only one human that ever came back 100% right off the rip, and that was AP, and that's AP. That guy's different. That was crazy. We ain't gonna get into that. That's crazy.
Yep.
Ain't talked about enough. This one of the greatest seasons.
The other interesting position too. I mean, I'll be curious what the Ravens want to run it back with, right? Like they can address. I think you can address this in the draft because I think like all these receivers are kind of getting taken up. Are being taken right now in free agency, and I don't think this free agency class has a ton of really good wide receivers. But I think they can add depth still to it. Is like outside receiver. Like you got the guy with Flowers. You have now you could in theory line up Likely, right? He's so athletic.
True.
And you could still keep Mark Andrews tight in the formation. Which honestly probably bodes well for them with like RPO and stuff.
Yeah.
But they definitely need like Bateman hasn't proven it yet. Like he shows sometimes flashes and then you're just like, But Zay Flowers is the real deal. right? Really good slot talent, but he's a slot corner. What you saw in that championship game, they do want to hit outside,
No, I
and they
agree.
can, and Lamar has the arm, so I'm super curious. I'm super curious if they try to go get that. I mean, that was kind of what Odell Beckham was.
Uh-huh.
I think they way overpaid for him,
I agree.
but I think that was also to try to get Lamar Jackson back to Baltimore too. So there's some of that in play, but. Yeah, I think they're similar to
I saw
honestly, they're
Coleman
similar to
out of
Green
Florida
Bay.
State.
Like they have a really good, solid team, but they have a lot of depth and they have a lot of things to address.
Yeah.
Like it's not Mickey Mouse for sure.
No, I agree. I think the positive thing they did, because coming into the off season, you were worried about having cap room, but like you said, they kind of structured it already where they got money now, and the move now that Tom's said his piece and all. The one I want to address, because I know he's very good. He knows his O-line stuff. I think the move they should make, and I think Tom's seen it. Me and him talked about it all year. Ronnie Stanley has not been that good. For a $26 million cap hit this year, he is not worth that. He is not. That is crazy. Either restructure him or you got to let him go. And I think my move, because he's out there and I know he's old, you could draft an O-lineman in the draft. And even if you put Tyron Smith at right tackle, he's still better than Morgan Moses. And no offense to Morgan Moses, he tries hard, he plays hard. He's also an $8 million cap hit. Someone's got to go. I think Tyron Smith, he's old. He'll probably take a 1 year, 2 year deal. Won't be too much money. He was solid last year. I guess he's tired of losing in Dallas. I don't know. It is what it is.
I think what sucks. Well, I will say this too. That I forgot. This is a big area they got addressed too. Kevin Zeitler has been.
Yeah, he's gone.
At least consistent in there, and he's gone, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where I will agree with you with Tyron Smith. He can play guard too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know if Moses could bump into guard or he's truly just a tackle, but I think Ronnie Stanley's interesting. It's kind of like how I feel about David Bakhtiari. Number one, and these two players, though, too, let's be clear on this. David Bakhtiari is a future potential first ballot Hall of Famer if he doesn't get hurt. I don't think Ronnie Stanley was ever close to that.
No.
But Ronnie Stanley was solid. Number one, I'd be curious if you could. I'd be curious if you could bump him to the right side to help him a little bit more, or if he's truly just a left tackle.
Okay.
The footwork is different, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, number one, he was playing hurt last year.
Mm-hmm.
That guy played hard for playing hurt.
No, he did. That is not my knock.
Yeah, I mean, I would be curious if you let him get healthy.
Yeah,
right?
True.
But I'd be curious too. I will say this, man. The minute you start losing tackles, you see it. Is how much it can wreck a game in the NFL.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm sure you could. There's got to be a way to restructure his deal to a point, but I would almost lean on this is my argument, probably because I'm a former offensive lineman too. Is dude, you gotta. I almost think it makes sense to keep the depth.
Okay.
Even though it costs you, at one point, he was a Pro Bowl left tackle.
Oh, I want to keep. I want to keep him, but I'm like.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's not worth $26 million.
That's a lot.
But at some point, though, it's if you can get him to play really good for 10 games a year, that's a lot better than what you would get if you cut him and pray you get rookies and stuff. Unless you land on a rookie that's an all-worldly talent.
True.
You know what I mean? Because in the NFL, they're trying to get the best 5 guys out there.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll figure out how to mix and match. And but I will agree. I do agree with you though, man. That is an expensive hit.
Yeah. Now to be fair too, cohesion on the line is important too. You got to have it. You know how it is. You got to. You know more than me. You played on the line. You got to know what the other guy's doing. You can't just have 5 random dudes blocking. It's gonna go bad.
Oh yeah, especially it matters a lot, but. I mean, I like what you're saying, though. It makes a ton of sense with, Tyron Smith because of just his flexibility. My biggest concern with him
Injuries.
is I would say the past, I feel like it's been the past 6 seasons, he's never healthy.
No.
So you're signing a guy that
you
might be if
him.
you take the number, like the percentage of games played and divide that by his salary, that's probably what you're paying him per year.
Yeah.
Now, if he plays a full season, then okay, you got your money's worth. But that's what's super tough with him.
You're right.
That's what's super tough with him, and that's the risk.
No, he's the one.
If you don't believe, if you don't believe you can address it in the draft, you totally got to tap into the market and free agency.
I agree with you. Like if you just restructure Ronnie, I think it don't even have to be like he could make $15 million a year. I'm just saying just a little bit, save a little bit of money. Because I'm like you, I get it. He's young. The thing with him too is he's pretty young too. So if you can restructure him, it's much better because he knows the system. He's really knows Lamar. It's really good. I really like Ronnie. I just don't think I think he's really good. I just don't think he has shown consistency to say he's a great tackle. You know what I mean? You have to be consistently healthy. You have to show it for a few years. Because the two other guys you talk about, yeah, they have injury problems now, but Bakhtiari and Tyron Smith are probably both going to go to the Hall of Fame, or really close. You know? You remember when Tyron was a rookie?
Oh, yeah, dude, look, Bakhtiari played one game last year and was the highest rated tackle in the NFL. Right? And he didn't practice all training camp or play a game. That's that's where his injury. I really hope, number one, Green Bay keeps him, and number two, like what he just did last knee surgery to clean out some scarring and stuff actually works. Because man, dude, just to have him play a couple more years at that elite level, he has to be a Hall of Famer. But anyways, I digress. I agree with Ronnie Stanley. I don't think he was ever at that level or even close. But how many good offensive left tackles are there in the NFL?
Very true. Very true.
Right.
Oh man, if you
play devil's advocate, right?
Oh no,
man, it's really tough. But
I'm with you.
If you have a guy that can, dude, yeah, I don't know. It's super tough. Again. I think the question comes for the Ravens is, hey, is there enough upside to where, hey, we're going to get at least enough out of him to where it's worth that contract?
Yeah.
That's what they're probably, and I'd say at this point they got to keep rolling with it because, hey, dude, he just hasn't been healthy.
Yeah.
But it is, yeah, dude, it's expensive, man. I'm not.
Oh, and I don't want to act like I'm.
What makes the league so tough, though, man. It's like, some of these injuries are just, you sign these guys, they deserve it, and then it's like, oh boy. Some little weird thing happens, and it's just devastating. Think of the Patriots and Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah. If I can be fair too with Tom.
They paid him $100 million. That was like he died, and like the whole city, they're lucky they had Tom Brady. But anyways.
Yeah, I agree with you though. See, Josh Jacobs, I thought the Raiders would re-sign him. I'm surprised they haven't tried as hard as they could. But like you, I would love if they could get him. I love the way he plays because he can catch passes too. But that would be the dream. I don't know if for me as a fan, but I don't know if we can get. I love how he plays. Hopefully they can get him. That would be great. I think that would, because Lamar makes running the ball so easy for you because they're so worried about him all the time. It's very nice, Now the second running back, I'm not sure who they get, but. I agree with Tom. I don't want to act like I'm on here bashing. I like Ronnie Stanley. He's a good player, but for $26 million, that's a lot. I'm just saying restructure it maybe. And if not, if he's healthy, it's not a bad thing. It's a good problem to have. I don't think they should outright release him, though. That's a little crazy. Unless you, like Tom said, you have DaCosta has a whole game plan. Like, I'm going to draft this guy. I'm going to do that. Corner is the one to me, though. It's so weird because you have a lot of them in this draft. And like Tom said, they're kind of slipping down a little bit because the quarterback, like all drafts, these quarterbacks get overranked and then you draft them real high. And we'll get into that on our draft thing. And J.J. McCarthy stuff's wild.
Well,
that's wild. I'm like, what?
Well, think about this too. I think that Mac Jones got traded.
Yeah, I was gonna say hello Jaguars.
They're Telestreet and they're taking a quarterback.
Oh yeah, they're getting Jaden Daniels probably.
They're gonna go into the season with Bailey Zappi.
No.
Get out of here.
No. No.
Yeah, so then your top three picks, right, could all potentially be quarterbacks.
Can I say something too, Tom?
I'm curious what Washington does because I'm not convinced I would take a Drake May or McCarthy.
I like Hal. I I do. I don't care. He has moxie, his guts. That's a bad team. That man played his butt off last year. Him and McLaurin have a really good connection. They really do. They.
Yeah.
He throws.
Well, but then you think though the Cardinals are going to take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like that. If they don't, they'd be like, and they like it's very because all right, number one, Justin Fields isn't going to be the starter of the Bears. So yeah,
No.
to your point, all these top players like it's getting so diluted up top in the top part of the draft with quarterbacks. And then I think when you start getting into the tens, you're going to see all these tackles.
Deep O-line draft too. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah. And it's gonna bode well for the Ravens to maybe get a corner there, but you never know. Like that's why you gotta, free agency frenzy starts today. Like you're gonna start to see the dominoes fall a little bit.
Tom, we got to talk
about too. Like this is a super strong safety market.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that.
People are going to be spending a lot on safeties, right? So does that allow the Ravens to take another guy like a slot corner safety guy? Like similar to Hamilton, that maybe you can bump out.
Justin Simmons.
Like that can kind of sub with Millette, right?
Yep, I agree. Oh my God, dude! Thank you for bringing that up. The Ravens. I think we've covered most of their stuff, right? Special teams looks good, right? Anything else to say?
Yeah, I think special teams for them is good.
It's okay.
Gave up a punt return touchdown in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, it never makes sense. They have a special teams coach, and then they always do something.
Well, no. I like how Tom.
I like how
Tom pointed it out to me. Like we were texting during the game, and he's like, "Did you see the center? What was he doing? The long snapper? Really though? He like just ran by the guy. So bad."
Yeah,
Tom was like, he looked lost. He did. He was like, "Where am I going?" He ran by him. He went by.
He said, "I'm not athletic enough. I'm not gonna embarrass myself." Like, man, no, the Ravens are like in terms of punter and like, man, obviously kicker, like 2 weapons, man. Like they're good. Like, no issues there. Yeah, for them really, I think it's like. Do you trust some of the depth you have at linebacker? It's super interesting. Like I was kind of reflecting when we talked about Green Bay too. They both have a lot more holes than you think they do.
Yeah.
Like for how much success they have, it's like, dang, they actually got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But they're still the Ravens are gonna be right up there, man. They're gonna be really good.
Oh, I think both the teams.
Pittsburgh getting a better quarterback like Russell Wilson or Justin Fields.
They got Russell.
Magically make them a playoff.
They just signed Russell.
Or like a Super Bowl contender.
No, I agree. Here's the thing. They just signed Russell. Yeah, he signed 1 year, $1.2 million. Here's my thing.
Gosh,
Can we talk?
He must be so incentive lease.
Okay, we're done with the Ravens.
He's like cheaper than.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, but you know how much money the Broncos are paying that man? We got to get into that. Okay, are we done with the Ravens stuff? Because we got to get into the Broncos. Like, this is crazy. You guys.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Who's on your team? My God.
Dude, well,
Sean Payton.
You know what, though? I'll give...
What are you...
I'm going to say this, though. Sean Payton is still, he will get them to win. They're going to be terrible again. I'm super curious if they try to trade up and get, a quarterback.
This could be the greatest coaching job in the...
Sign someone. He has something in mind. I will say this. I think Russell got screwed to a point.
Yeah.
But also...
Did you see the meme with Cortland Sutton? Just looking around like, where are all my friends at? That's funny.
Right. Dude, the Simmons one was odd.
Yeah, I don't get that. He's still really good.
Because they're just so screwed.
Tom, that guy is gonna get scooped up. He is good. He is damn good. I was like, what?
Dude, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yes. Oh my God. If they get him, if you get him and Geno, oh boy, the Packers. Oh my God. And they kind of go together because Geno's like the state air guy and Justin's like the versatile, athletic dude. Just saying.
I was watching. They had the Vikings and the Broncos game, on the other day on NFL Network, and I was watching the end of it. Like, dude, he was just manning up T.J. Hawkinson at the end of the game.
Dude, he's good. He's a hell. He's really good. Really good. He always screws the Ravens. He beats the hell out of them. He picks like 2 passes every game. It's that's the only one. I get what you're saying. I don't think they're doing anything wrong. They're just like, hey, we're cleaning house. I get it. Jerry Jeudy, he hasn't worked out there. It was good for both of them to change. You know, maybe he'll do really well in Cleveland. The Deshaun Watson thing though, Deshaun, go play well because no one cares. You had one good game in 3 years or whatever the hell it is, 2 years. Like, I ain't nobody worried about you. If Joe Flacco ain't coming back, I ain't worried about the Browns. Their defense scares me, not you. Because I don't even know if you're gonna be on the field. What if you have a little? What if temptation strikes, buddy? I don't know. It's his fault. I can still do it.
Yeah, man, dude. Yeah, man, that's crazy. At one point, I mean, Pittsburgh, the city of Pittsburgh's probably super happy. So, because they don't have to. It's funny though. It's probably Mason Rudolph still making more money.
Yes. If
I mean, not like in the grand scheme of it, no, because like you said, the Broncos cut him for like $85 million. Like, that's insane, man. Like, see, something just doesn't add up to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, think about like you're willing to part with someone over $85 million. I just don't believe it's all about money.
No, something's going on. Yeah, either he didn't get along with anybody, or something's happening. You're right. That's wild because we're over here talking about can't cut a guy for $26 million. This man got 3 times that. I'm like, what happened?
3 times that, and like people forget, dude, that Nathaniel Hackett whole situation was terrible. Like, look, I understand that he may not, like, Nathaniel Hackett might not be an offensive, like, genius, but, dude, they still had guys. I mean, I think the crazy thing is Jerry Jeudy. I mean, this just shows you their GM. Like, dude, when they took him as a top 10 pick and they traded him for a 5th and a 6th.
That's crazy.
Like,
yeah.
Which is even crazier, though, is like, my favorite is when Steve Smith said, this dude ain't a dog. He's a jag. Just a guy.
I know. Oh, my God.
He's not wrong. He is.
Yeah.
Like, he's never proven anything to anybody.
No, I agree. I don't know. No, they kept the right guy. So Courtland Sutton's a dog. That dude is good. He is. He's good.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, Jerry Jeudy was supposed to be this guy that could just burn everybody.
Oh, no. That's why I brought up Courtland Sutton. I'm like, when they first both were on the team, it was like, oh, Jerry Jeudy, and then they got this good possession guy, and it's like, nah, Courtland Sutton, he's really good. Just, man.
It still kills me to this day, man. Think Green Bay could have traded the farm for Aaron Rodgers to that franchise. I mean, I would have taken Noah Fant. Drew Lock I could have dealt without, but just like all those picks, like, man, just to think how you could bolster your roster.
You're making a good point. I remember when that happened too. Everybody was like, "What a dumb trade by the Seahawks." Pete Carroll had 2 solid seasons and just left. Like, told you.
Drew Lock did win a game for them.
Yeah. And I'm not even blaming Russell Wilson. I'm really not. That was, like you said, it's been a whole mess. But like you said, something's weird. This makes no sense. What is going on? I need to know. The deep dive into this by somebody like that's going to come out in like 20 years is going to be wild. Get ready for ESPN 30 for 30, bro. It's coming.
Or if it's on Apple TV.
Right.
I started watching that Dynasty show, and I mean, it's really good. Like, that's why I brought up the whole Drew Bledsoe thing. It's like people forget, like, that franchise was really like, you know, they're trying to fight for relevance, and Robert Kraft, you know, you think he's been there 6 years, and they're really trying, and they finally got a guy that they believe in and rally around, and then when he got crushed against the Jets, I mean... what's so interesting is that team's resiliency and, like, that defense just said, nah, we're going to take responsibility. Teams just ain't going to score.
Yep. Not only that, it reminds me of, like, do you remember, it was actually the year before, 2 years before that, the Rams, do you remember they like signed a bunch of free agents and they had Trent Green and he got hurt in the preseason and everybody was like, oh no, the season's over, and then the Dick Vermeil was like, we're going to rally around Kurt Warner and we're going to play good football, and the man won the MVP. Like, who the fuck is Kurt Warner?
Yep. I mean, that's just it. Like, I always get tired of hearing about, like, even in the draft, like, yeah, these guys have potential. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you want to talk about a funny draft class? I know we're jumping everywhere. We're not very good, we're just.
No, we did the
not
Raven thing
talking right
though.
now.
We did
Like,
this at the
that
end.
whole 2021 NFL draft class
Uh-huh.
is quarterback class is straight dog doo doo.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Mac
even
Jones.
like Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I thought he
Yeah.
was gonna do it, and like this year, I was just like, what happened? Like, it is just crazy how bad that is.
Yeah, I agree.
And you think like the national title winning quarterbacks in there. I mean, even like Justin Fields, I'm just like, it is just mid.
It is. It really is. It really is.
Think, man, the Jaguars have 2 of like the top 15 quarterbacks now on their roster from that draft class.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's bad. No, but I think we did what we did last week with Green Bay. At the end, when we were done our analysis, we went into this, like, just talking about the random stuff.
Yeah. I'm excited for like the free agency to start. It's always crazy how like the NCAA, you have all the conference championship games in basketball for college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yet here we are.
Yep.
Like the NFL has done such a good job of like people like marketing all this and just like, man, fans are constantly staying engaged.
Oh, yeah.
It's wild because it gets you exhausted because you're like, it feels like it never ends. But then also it's like there's always something happening, which is awesome.
Yep. And Cooper DeJean.
Remember like back when we were like if you'd say like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Dude, until like mid-March, nothing happened.
No.
Like it was dead silent. You didn't have the combine like on NFL Network. Nothing.
No.
It was dead silent after the Super Bowl in January.
It was true, yeah. It was boring. It was like, wait till August. Here comes training camp.
And then the draft would come on, everyone would get hyped, and then it would be this lull from the end of April till July.
Yep. No,
they didn't cover mini camps like they do now. I mean, it's crazy the monster that the NFL created with like NFL media, man. It's awesome. Like,
I love it, yeah.
The coverage is always there, man.
I agree.
But it'll be fun, man. Now does free agency officially start Wednesday, and like Mondays just they start hyping everything up and spreading the rumors?
Yeah, people start getting phone calls and like, well, he talked to him at 12 at midnight and tried to get him, went to his house and all this, all that funny stuff. Oh man, but no, it's like
yeah, it does. It actually starts at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. But basically, the reason they start the show today is because all these deals were made.
Yeah.
At the combine, so
yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Right, exactly. They're just waiting to. It's not legally. We're not allowed to say it right now. So just.
Well,
they got the
that was made by the Packers is they cut Devondre Campbell to save like $11 million. They had to, man. That man was like.
Yeah, they had to.
Best of wishes, man. He was awesome it was fun to see him kind of resurrect himself, but. Dude, last year that was definitely brutal on him and like everybody else too. So
no, I
not
agree.
good riddance or anything. Just that one made a lot of sense.
Also, I want to.
If they could bring him back, that'd be fun. But I don't know if he's gonna want to come back to that situation after what happened.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a show on Thursday about the draft and the upcoming draft and our prospects we like. So I'm gonna save some of our analysis on that. I'm not gonna bring up the only one I'm gonna say is. The Jason Sehorn archetype is in this draft. Cooper DeJean, let's go.
All right, dude. It's odd because like Green Bay's like this, like rumored at that pick. I mean, I would take him because I think he can be like a slot guy, safety guy. That would work great. Like,
no, all joking aside, he is
he's a true outside corner.
He's a solid player. He's a solid player.
Dude, it's pumped.
It's
I'm
fun.
pumped, man. He's gonna break all the stereotypes. Let's do it.
Oh, they're throwing the ball at his ass. You better be ready, Cooper, to come for you.
Man, that's all I got, man. This was a good, clean wrap up, man. It's gonna be awesome watching.
Well, I think the only reason it was so quick is it's like with the Packers. We had a lot more to talk about because your team's like young and the Jordan Love stuff. I feel like the Ravens, a lot of their people are older, and I'm like, it wasn't as surprising, right? People thought if they had the season they had, they were going to be good. Like, they could have that season, right? No one thought they would, but it was like, it wasn't that shocking, right? They have talent. It's like, oh, okay. If you were telling me their defense was going to play like that, it's like, yeah, I would have believed it, It's like, Not that, like you always brought up. You brought it up even before the season even started. You can go back and look it up, guys. Tom was like, Roquan's really made a difference on that defense, and you saw it. As soon as he got there, that team played a hell of a lot better. It was crazy. That's why the Bears. I'm not saying they did bad because those two guys played very well for him last year, but he seems to be a generational kind of linebacker. And not Ray Lewis, but
No, he's this generation's though.
pretty
Like,
close.
No, well, he's this generation's like Patrick Willis or
Yeah, Bobby
Ray
Wagner.
Lewis, Bobby Wagner,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Fred Warner. Like, because even Fred Warner, he's
Fred
been
Warner.
a long time now.
Yep.
You know, honestly, they both came in around the same time. So like, but he's like that generation. You know, I mean, he's this generation's that type of linebacker. The position's played so different, but he's a beast.
And he
I
fits
just
the
never
Ravens
understood why the
perfectly.
Bears, being the town touted as like the
Linebacker
defensive
town.
said, let's let him go for like a late first round pick.
Yeah.
I get out of here, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's a reason why the Bears still and always will suck. So
Yeah.
I feel bad for Caleb Williams because this is not going to go well for him.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. Hey, don't worry, Caleb. We'll be fair. We won't blame you if something happens.
I mean, I hope it does go well. Like, I think the whole, like, I mean, look, when, like, Green Bay and Chicago had to play for the NFC title game for all the marbles, that was awesome. That was, like, the rivalry. It was awesome.
I'm with you. I hope
like,
they're good.
Like, that matters so much. Like, I actually hope the Bears start to figure things out because I think it makes, like, the whole NFC North just better.
No, I agree. I agree.
Like, figure your stuff out, man. You're too historic of a franchise to be, like, the joke and laughing stock that you are. Like, figure it out, man. Be consistent.
And if they become... They're the team. Everybody wants Chicago to be good. Even I do. I love their jerseys. I love the atmosphere there. They're a great town. It would be great. I mean, it would. Caleb Williams, I hope it works out, man. I hope he kicks butt. You're definitely going there, though. That's happening. And I don't blame him. He's a hell of a talent.
I'm really curious if Atlanta's going to pull the trigger. If Atlanta's going to try Kirk Cousins, which I think makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I do too. I think it just elevates them more. Like, Justin Fields is a wild card, man. I feel like that's dangerous if...
Good or bad, yeah. It could go one of two ways.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I think there's just too much hype and hope that, hey, well, they're going to be they're going to be bringing him in and he's going to be the next Mike Vick. Don't do that.
To him. Don't do that to him either. Yeah.
He's truly going to elevate the team and the offense. And I didn't see it in Chicago, so I would probably just stay away as much as I could.
Well, what did they need last year? They needed a guy to, like, stabilize a consistent player. Like, that's Kirk Cousins. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, and think, like, the Bears, their consistent guy was that undrafted kid from, like, a D3.
Bayjet, baby. Bagot, or whatever.
Yeah, like, so that's what you're gonna... Like, anyways, sorry. I'm so tired of hearing about the Justin Fields talk because it's like, dude, he is who he is. Like,
oh yeah, I saw the Lamar stuff. I'm like, guys, come on. There ain't one team that would be like, yeah, give me Justin Fields over Lamar. Hell, hey, hang that phone up. And I ain't even hating on Justin Fields. He might have a great career. I don't know. He's inconsistent though. Tom, if I call you up, if two teams call you up, if I'm like, yo, we'll give you Lamar or we'll give you Justin Fields, who you what you doing? I'm just saying. Come on now. Stop, guys.
I'm super curious last year when Lamar was negotiating. I am so curious what happened in Atlanta that they didn't land him.
That is wild.
No, because, like, I even think, like, most Ravens fans are like, dude, he's gone.
Well, the hype that would have been behind that too, because you would have literally see that one you could have sold better than like you're saying like, oh, Justin Fields will be Michael Vick. You could have been like, we got Michael Vick back then, and now we got the new Michael Vick, like the new version, like the new athletic quarterback coming back to Atlanta. Not only that, come on, you know he would look sick in 8 in those uniforms. Come on, bro, Lamar.
Oh, yeah, no, dude, no, It goes to show you, though, like, what in the world were the Falcons thinking? Like, They should have went, like, I mean, they tried it with Deshaun Watson, of all players.
But not ours.
Go all in. And Lamar, it's like they kind of did, and they tiptoed around. And that's where I think, like, this year they're going to probably go all in on Kirk Cousins.
And what I don't get is Lamar's a good dude, too. That was crazy. Like you said, you'll do it for Deshaun, but Lamar's got nothing. That's a good guy. I mean, like, no one says anything bad about him. His teammates love him. Oh, my God. Not like that. Could you imagine the running game with him and Bijan? Yo, That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I just wondered,
crazy.
honestly, like, I think behind closed doors, like Arthur Smith, and like, I'm just curious what went on there, because it seemed like when that divorce happened at the end of this year,
Mhm.
there was some bad blood. Because I feel like Arthur Smith was so like, he wanted to do it his way.
Oh
and he
yeah.
was so stubborn, and I mean, I mean, you saw, man, that team not having a quarterback killed them. They made all the right moves defensively. You know, Arthur Smith, you can question a lot of his play calling. It was terrible. But, man, if they had a quarterback, I think they actually probably could have won 3 of those games and made the playoffs and been the NFC South winners. Like,
also, let's give Baker Mayfield credit too. My man got the bag. Let's give him credit.
No, he did, but I still think he should have been fired after the Super Bowl. It's just so hard to stand up in front of men and lead them after like that, unless you're gonna.
Oh no, I said Baker Mayfield. I talking about Arthur Smith. Screw him.
Oh God, yeah, no, seriously, man, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, but that was a good signing for like Tampa. It's like, hey, you got consistency. They won a playoff game.
Yeah.
You know what? Who cares?
And you got Mike Evans back. Yeah, both of them.
Dude, think about this, man. He had the first ever perfect passer rating
in a playoff
in Lambeau Field ever.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield. Dear Lord. All right, man. We gotta.
All right, guys. Pleasure talking to you. We'll see you probably on Thursday. We're gonna do a little draft free agency thing because it's about to get wild out here in your streets. Thanks for joining us for a deep dive. As always, likes are appreciated. Subscribe for more content. And as always, Tom, you want to do it?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Back.